This wasn't just a war, it was a lesson in leadership, in restraint, in survival, and above all, it was a story of two nations, one border, and the day they stood at the edge of destruction before the world pulled them back. This was Ceasefire. It all began with a single step into the shadows, a foggy morning in Kashmir. The mountains were silent. Soldiers on both sides of the line of control stood alert, a routine patrol, nothing unusual. But then, at 4:37 a.m., Indian surveillance detected movement near their post in the Uri sector. They fired a warning shot. Pakistan responded with a flare, a traditional signal to avoid escalation. But what happened next changed everything. The Indian Army, believing they were under infiltration, launched a pre-dawn airstrike on what they claimed was a terrorist launch pad just 3 kilometers inside Pakistan-administered Kashmir. They dropped guided bombs, striking a facility near Muzaffarabad. India called it a preemptive counter-terror operation. But Pakistan saw it differently, a direct violation of sovereignty. Within 12 hours, the Pakistan Air Force retaliated. Their fighter jets crossed into Indian territory and locked onto key military targets. But in a surprising move, they dropped bombs in open fields, sending a message: we can strike, but we choose restraint. But India didn't back down. The next night, 2 Indian jets attempted a strike deeper into Pakistani airspace. They didn't return. Pakistan shot them down. 1 pilot was captured. And just like that, the war had begun. By day 5, both nations had declared a state of emergency. India mobilized 200,000 troops to its western border. Pakistan activated its full air defense network. Skirmishes turned into full-scale artillery battles across Siakat, Rajasthan, and Kashmir. Civilian areas weren't spared. A missile aimed at a military depot in Barmer, India, missed by 300 meters, hitting a school. That day alone, 138 children died. 7 Indian tanks were destroyed in a single ambush in Punjab. 2 Pakistani fighter jets were lost during a raid near Amritsar. Across both countries, electricity grids failed. Internet was restricted. Hospitals overflowed. In 10 days, the death toll crossed 5,000 lives. The world began to panic. As the war intensified, economies crumbled. India's Sensex fell by 3,100 points. The Pakistani rupee dropped by 12% overnight. The French defense company Dassault, makers of the Rafale jets, lost $8 billion in stock value when 4 of their jets failed during mid-air engagements. Even American investors were affected. Oil prices surged. Flights were canceled. Global supply chains shivered. Protests erupted in New York, London, Paris, and Istanbul. On day 14, classified U.S. intelligence reported a horrifying development. Both nations had armed short-range nuclear warheads. The world stood minutes from catastrophe. That night, the U.S. president addressed the nation and the world. We cannot allow a nuclear war in South Asia. As a global partner to both nations, the United States will intervene. The USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group was deployed to the Arabian Sea. American drones monitored both Indian and Pakistani military bases. CIA officials flew to Islamabad and Delhi secretly negotiating back-channel deals. By day 17, backdoor diplomacy began, with help from Turkey, China, and Saudi Arabia. It wasn't just about peace now. It was about survival. On day 26, after 8 hours of tense discussions in Istanbul, a deal was signed. India, pushed by financial collapse and international pressure, agreed to cease military operations, return to the line of control, cooperate in a neutral investigation of the Uri incident. Pakistan, having held its ground and won international respect, agreed to release all POWs, stop retaliatory strikes, open its territory for UN-led humanitarian assistance. The war officially ended, but the story was far from over. Casualties, civilians, 3,740 soldiers, 4,680 children, 138 jets lost, 9 tanks destroyed, 23 hospitals damaged, 7 economic loss, $89 billion plus. But more than numbers, it was a psychological shift. Pakistan, once underestimated, had proven itself, not through conquest, but through strategy, discipline, and unity. India, though wounded, learned the price of underestimating its neighbor, and the world was reminded that in the age of modern warfare, a single mistake can ignite hell, and only wisdom can prevent it. This wasn't just a war, it was a lesson in leadership, in restraint, in survival, and above all, it was a story of two nations, one border, and the day they stood at the edge of destruction before the world pulled them back. This was Ceasefire.